This is KUGAN CASSIUS for iFILM London. We're in Canning Town at the Peacock Gym on set of a new British film coming out very soon called Vendetta. With me, I have the producer of this film, Mr. Jonathan SOTHCOTT. How are you, Jonathan?
I'm alright, KUGAN. I'm not bad. How are you?
I'm very well. First time we've actually got you on iFILM London. I know we've known each other for a few years, so it's good to get you on here.
Yeah, it's an honour. I watch you interview everyone else with seething jealousy, and now it's finally my turn.
Wow. Wow. That's quite an acclaim. Vendetta. So obviously, I just spoke to Danny a little bit about the plot line. Where did the story come from?
Yeah, well, Danny and I have been talking about doing something together to really take him back to his roots, and we thought about doing a hooligan film, and we thought about doing a kind of gangster film, but the one that he kind of had done before that worked really well was Outlaw, the Nick Love film. This vigilante thing, it comes along sort of every 10 years. There was Outlaw, then there was Harry Brown, and there hasn't been one for a while. And so we kind of came up with this vigilante idea, very much in the style of the Death Wish movies, you know, all the stuff we watched when we were kids. And we wrote a script. I got this guy called Stephen Reynolds who wrote my Essex Boys film that I did. And he wrote a really cracking, violent, horrible script. And we put it together.
So, do you know what? Sorry, Outlaw. That should have gone in that top 5. That's one of my favourite Danny films. Should have reminded me then.
Yeah, except the problem with Outlaw is they're really crap vigilantes. So they steam into the pubs and have the fights, but they get beaten up. And what's the point in that? You know, one of the things Danny was talking about being SAS in this, one of the problems we always have with vigilante films is, how is it that just because your wife or your parents or your daughter get killed or raped or mugged or whatever, how do you suddenly become a torturer, a tough guy, you know, a parachutist, all these things? Well, you do if you're SAS. So we kind of tried to solve that problem before it got to us.
If you ever make your version of Outlaw, me and James,
Yeah.
we're trained in that sort of stuff, yeah.
What sort of stuff? Parachuting?
Anything really. I mean, just show us or give us a manual or whatever, we'll pick it up pretty quick.
All right, it's on.
It's on.
Vendetta 2.
Vendetta 2, definitely. With regards to Danny Dyer, I mean, everyone seems to have an opinion about Danny Dyer in one shape or form. He's a bit like the Marmite situation. Some people book him, some people don't. Where is he in the British film rankings? Where is he? Where does he sit in your opinion?
Well, for me, there's two Dannys. There's Danny, who's my friend, and there's Danny, who's Danny Dyer. As an actor, he is the only name in independent cinema who has any value at all. The only one. He is not just, I mean, he said he was the king of low budget. He is the king of independent films. There is no one else. There is a snobbery, which is completely undeserved. People look down their nose at him. People say, oh, Danny Dyer, he only does one thing. You know, they used to say that about Michael Caine 30 years ago. 3 Oscars later, everyone's forgotten that. And as far as I'm concerned, Danny is my generation's Michael Caine.
Yeah, that's very well put. I mean, it's not like Danny's... It's the vast amount of films Danny does, so he gets sort of more or less judged sometimes on his last performance. Obviously, Danny's better films, in my opinion... Policeman just walked in. Were
Standard in Canning Town.
Standard in Canning Town. Were his previous work, but, you know, some of the new stuff, you understand what I mean, didn't you? The Football Factories, the Human Traffics, the Business, them films are sort of cult British films within that sort of genre. So it'll be good for him to get back into that and do what he does best.
Totally, but that's the Michael Caine thing, you know. Now that he just does Batman and that sort of thing, everyone's forgotten The Swarm and Jaws of Revenge and all those terrible movies that he used to get ripped to pieces for. And trust me, in 20 years' time, no one's going to remember Just for the Record and, you know, Pimp and City Rats and all those other films that didn't work. I mean, the fact is, even the bad Danny films do really well. You know, I mean, you get the odd one that doesn't, but generally speaking, they do phenomenally well. It's just like this thing of sticking him on the front of stuff with a gun, made the covers black, white and red, so people go and buy a little comedy or something like that, thinking they're going to get, you know, Football Factory 2, and they get very disappointed.
Indeed. Now, this film, Vendetta, stellar cast in it, as always with you. Vincent Regan, Ricky Harnett, Nick Nevin, who else is in it? Joshua Arce, that's James's friend, so he's giving it a big up.
Lad. Yeah, I think it's probably the strongest cast of any of my films. I mean, for me, Vincent Regan was the one. If we got him, everything else was going to fall into place. And again, I've watched him work for all the other producers and thought, I've got to get you in something because he's so good. And he's absolutely fantastic in this. He's the kind of Colonel Troutman figure who comes to get Danny back. And he was brilliant. Watching those two together was just electrifying. And obviously Nick Nevin, I've done the White Collar Hooligan films with, and Essex Boys and that stuff. And it's nice to get him to come and do something with Danny. You know, I mean, like me, he's a Dyer fan. and he loved doing it. Ricky Harnett's always loved. He's an actor who doesn't work as much as he should. I mean, you've known him since Foot Soldier. I've known him since Foot Soldier, the biggest British film of all time, but he still doesn't seem to do as much as he should. So it's lovely to get him in. And we've tried to surround Danny with just not the usual suspects, because we all love them and they're all brilliant, but otherwise every film looks the same.
What happens then? Obviously, when you're doing castings and that, is it a case of you think specific people will fit specific roles, or is it a case of who's available, or how does it work when it comes to you casting for films?
It's a little bit of both, really. I mean, as soon as I read this, I phoned Steve, the right director, and I said we should get Vincent Regan as the Colonel. He was always the person that we were very much, this is who we want. But I have a casting director on this film. I used a guy called Lee Mountjoy to do the castings, and he gives me a list of suggestions for each role with a breakdown. Steve and I go through them, we review them. Sometimes we get people into audition, sometimes we just make a straight offer. We've got a lovely actor in this called Bruce Payne. Do you remember him from Passenger 57? Yep. And he came up as a suggestion. It wouldn't have been on my radar. I thought he lived in America, but we got him to come and do a day, and that was lovely. And that came through the casting director.
Yeah, Passenger 57, Wesley Snipes, great film, wasn't it? One.
Classic.
So, your offices are set obviously here in Canning Town, and where are the other locations for the film? Is it predominantly around East London? Yeah,
we had 2 days in the West End. The rest of it were based in Canning Town, and I have to say, Martin and Tony have been incredibly hospitable. They've given me an office. We've actually built sets that I'll take you to see later in space of theirs out the back. And, you know, Canning Town's really film friendly. It's also nice to be somewhere where seeing Danny running around isn't a massive novelty. People are kind of used to seeing him out and about here, so we haven't got that thing of, oh my God, it's Danny Dyer, which is a bit of a relief.
So getting a bit of, oh my God, it's big JS.
Yeah, all the time, every day, mate. It's a pain.
It is a pain. Someone's got to do it, obviously.
Exactly.
So how long's the shoot, John, for this film?
This is the first day of the second week. It's a 3-week shoot, so we're edging towards halfway.
So when can we expect to release, and where will it be released?
Well, the plan is very much small cinema. I don't mean a nothing cinema like some of them get, but a small theatrical, give it a little platform, let everyone know that Danny's back doing what he does best, and then DVD. And I would imagine, although it's not up to me, it's up to the distributors, I would imagine end of this year for cinema, early next year for DVD.
Okay. Any other projects you want to tell us about while you're at it that you're working on?
I'm putting together something else with Danny for the summer, which, God willing, we'll have a couple of weeks in Ibiza on location, which we're both looking forward to, as you can imagine, with the weather the way it is. I'm doing a film with Leo Gregory. Do you know Leo?
Know Leo very well.
Doing a film with Leo called Top Dog.
Yeah, he's told me about this film, actually.
Yeah, based on a novel by Dougie Brimson, who wrote Green Street, which is a fantastic script. And that's coming together nicely.
Well, me and James are available for cameos.
Got to get you both in Top Dog.
Top Dog, and obviously we both know Leo Gregory very well, so yeah.
Nice one. No, it's done. It's done deal.
You said it on camera.
People, KUGAN.
Yeah, James, call Raj. That's our PA, little Raj.
Gotcha. Yeah. Is he real or is he?
No, he exists. Yeah, he's just we got a PA. He's based. He's based in.
I haven't got a PA.
He's based in Sri Lanka, so he's not always accessible.
Right. Yeah, that kind of.
But he does a great job, doesn't he, James? Fantastic.
Yeah. Get him on Skype,
FaceTime. He loves Twitter as well.
I bet. I'll look out for him on Twitter.
Bebo, MySpace, the lot. Listen, John, thank you very much for inviting us down to the set. Like, we want to obviously just have a little nose about and everything. Tell us what we can film and what we can't film. But we look forward to this. Like I said, I'm a Danny Dyer fan. I haven't just got to say that I was a Danny Dyer fan before I ever met him. So I've enjoyed watching most of his films. The ones I slagged off in the thing, obviously, was a bit of a surprise. But them Doghouse and Severance, they weren't really my cup of tea. But that's, everyone's entitled to their things to say. So
listen, I'm just glad there were less of mine in your bottom three.
Listen, John, I can't knock Unarmed and Dangerous. I can't knock Just for the Record.
About KUGAN. I don't know either of those movies. Get me confused with the other Jonathan Southcott.
That must have been Jonathan Southcott of 2008.
Yeah, exactly. He's shorter than me.
Is he?
Yeah.
Definitely. It's a classic film, though. Right, this is KUGAN Cassius with Jonathan Southcott. Twitter at Southcott.
At Southcott.
Follow him.
Follow me. I need the followers.
He needs the followers. Just people entitled to beg you for film parts.
Well, they do anyway, so yeah, crack on.
Like we're doing basically on here now.
Yeah,
so
yeah, no, by all means.
Crack on. Right, KUGAN Cassius, Jonathan Southcott here for iFILM London, here at the Peacock Gym on the set of Vendetta. Thank you very much.